All right, folks, let's finish up chapter 4 with discussing cyber torts. The one thing I like about this book, even though this version is a little bit older, it tries to move into the realm of the future, dealing with cyber torts, cyber law, all the different elements that we're facing now because we live in a digital age. The book notes cyber torts can also be committed in the online environment. Torts committed via the internet are often called cyber torts. Over the years, courts have had to decide how to apply traditional tort law to torts committed in cyberspace. To date, most cyber torts have involved defamation, so this discussion will focus on how the traditional tort law concerning defamation is being adapted to apply to online defamation. If you've already checked out the links when I talked about defamation, you already know courts are well and above in trying to deal with defamation about online. The book sort of talks about, and it's a little behind the time, about the anonymous complaints that are posted online. You know, how hard it is to trace who is actually making the defamation statute. That's usually not the case anymore. People usually tag their names next to their Yelp comments or their TripAdvisor comments, etc. It's quite easy to find out who posted the comment. But the book does make a still interesting point about cyber torts that are committed. For example, the one when I was talking about the celebrity hacking. The individuals who stole pictures from the phones of individuals like Jennifer Lawrence and Kate Upton and posted them online. It's much more harder to try to find those individuals, these hackers, these anonymous groups, and come after them, to put a stop to it. That is true, and that remains quite evident that that's hard to stop. But with defamation is becoming a lot easier for courts to deal with because for some reason people are extremely happy to put next to their name why they hate a certain place. And courts are becoming a lot more sophisticated with tracking ISPs, your internet service provider, the company, and all those things to find out who exactly you are when you're posting a negative comment and whether that comment's true or not based on your own experiences, etc., etc. Liability of internet service providers. Now, this has been dealt with for a long time, and it's interesting. It's coming up again because I mentioned the celebrities were also suing Google for allowing the images to be posted and reposted and held on their websites. The courts have held for a long time that internet service providers are not liable for the content that's posted on there by third parties. What do I mean? That this is a tort issue in between the celebrities and the people who originally posted it, not the internet service providers. So courts have held, strangely enough, that the internet service providers are not liable for hosting these pictures, for having pictures on the air, and etc. The book uses a perfect example about a bullying case that happened with individuals, not even bullying, I think it was child predators held on MySpace, where child predators were using MySpace to target young girls. MySpace was held to be not liable, even though they hosted the element that allowed these child predators to access these girls' information. The book talks about spam and about other things that's a little bit outdated, in my opinion. But one of the main interesting things, like I said, about cyber torts is that's a reality of the situation now. We're dealing with a lot of elements, especially bullying, that has captured everybody's online. People being mean to each other online. The digital age has allowed us a certain, ambiguity, I guess, when it comes to are we protected. People are more visceral, I guess, when posting their comments online about certain things because it's almost a man behind the curtain element with it. We're not actually saying things to people's faces. We're saying it through a computer system. It makes it a lot easier sometimes to say something and people wouldn't normally say if they were looking at somebody straight in the face and saying it. So it's going to be a great class discussion on this element. I think the idea does, this sort of digital age, does encourage people to be meaner, Also, what sort of elements are we, given? Are our privacy levels raised because of the internet, Should there be more understanding of what is private, what is public? We post so much of our information online now that usually gets folded over as to what is public and what is private. So these are going to be some interesting discussions, I think, to have in class. But we did a good job. We're through the chapter. Like I said, make sure to check out the items that I've posted along with today's date about the other links and things like that. It'll give us some opportunity to cover these things. But more importantly, you'll see at the end of this chapter, we have about 10 questions. These are the questions essentially that we'll be going over in class. So make sure to read through all of them, make notes on them, and we'll break up into groups and we'll work on each question, each by each, and then we'll talk about it in class to help us further understand the information. Thank you once again for sitting through this lecture, and I look forward to seeing you in class on Monday. Thank you very much. Bye.